What's up?
What's up?
Joey Peeps, what's up, man? You're listening to the Line Sports Talk Podcast. We're back in the office tonight. Now I'm your host, TL, joined by my partner in crime here, Joey Peeps. He's the only man I've ever known who is defriended by his own grandmother on Facebook. Hey, what's up?
That's absolutely true. But let me share some elaboration on that. Love you to death, Granny, but you're too fucking old to be on Facebook. Most of your friends are dead anyway.
That's a typical response and exactly what we've come to expect from you snide little shit. Good stuff, man. Dude, we're here. It's August 29th, 2016. We're ready to kick off the 2016-2017 NFL football season. I couldn't be more excited, as one might imagine, as we really come into fantasy. We had our first fantasy draft over the weekend. We've got the entire crew from the Line jumping into our draft next Sunday. When I get myself up there to visit with all y'all, and it's our first draft of the season, so my second of the entire season. So I'm looking forward to that as well. First draft went pretty well Saturday. I don't know. It was a 10-team league, standard scoring. That's for the battle for the Gracie Cup has begun, and I lucked out, dude. I had David Johnson fall to me with the 8th overall pick. Yeah, I don't know if you have any input on that.
I don't know. I guess all drafts this year especially, they all might be different, being that you just, with a PPR league, you figure, you got an Antonio Brown going number one, and other leagues. This league's very, I'd like to see all kinds of different drafts, because I'm sure they all look different this year, especially.
So far, like I said, that was the only one we've done, but I've done a ton of mock drafts. I've done a ton of different things, and that one definitely has been quite a bit. But I think this is maybe like our 15th year, 16th year doing this league, and it's just notoriously different, these guys. A lot of guys in there just do some renegade drafting where they just do what they want. They want the guy they want. They go get him. And I think it's cool. It actually makes it a lot of fun. It's really unpredictable. The top 10 was crazy. Offhand, I should have brought the sheet into the studio to look at it. But, David Johnson fell to me at 8. This is not a PPR league either. So I was impressed. Maybe it's the abundance of Steeler fans in the top 7, top 6. That changed things around, but it was Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham. 4 was Todd Gurley. 5 was Le'Veon Bell.
I don't hate it. I don't really hate that. At 5, I know he's going to be gone the first 4 games, but when he comes back, as long as Ben is on the field with Antonio Brown, that's a lot to deal with.
I don't hate it either. It's a little, it throws the first round off, but because of the Le'Veon Bell insertion there, David Johnson fell to me. Now, I don't know if it's a great thing that David Johnson fell to me or not. I think after that was Peterson, and I can't think of who 7 was right now. But yeah, it's off and kicking here. It's good to go. But tonight I want to talk a lot about the AFC and our division winners, and then our AFC champion at the end of the year. We're going to do a lot of predictions throughout the course of the year, a lot of game breakdown, and a lot of things we want to do is going to be centered around the line itself, the spread, sports wagering. Now, just a reminder out there, if you're listening and you're ready to get your family league, your office league, your softball team league up and rolling, make sure you go check out our friends at sundayswim.com. They're waiting for you. We're setting up our whole team in league. We're going to probably run about 12 guys deep. Should be a blast. Again, sundayswim.com. Check out the app. They're available in the iStore. Was that what that's called, Joe? The iPhone, Apple iStore? I don't know.
Yeah, they'll know. They'll know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. It's been a long
right.
couple weeks. I'm back off the cusp of a vacation. A lot of big things happened. A lot of rocking. It's good stuff. Wrigley Field, Pearl Jam, 2 great concerts. My face completely melted. Got beer spilled all over me by the Even Bros. Laughed my ass off. Great time all around, man. And now it's time to get down to business and jump into this football season. So, Joe, why don't you kick it off, man? What division you want to start with? I'm game for anything.
You know what? I think we're just gonna start with the AFC East today, because I just cannot wait to talk about how disappointed I'm going to be about my Jets this year.
Yeah, so, and before you get going, I don't mean to delay you, but a few weeks ago I made some comments in defense of Geno Smith. I'd like to retract all of those statements.
Thank you.
Everything
means a lot.
I said about Geno Smith, please just, I take all that back. He's lousy.
Thank you. I thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
No, you're right. He sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
he sucks.
I can't compile it. He might as well just broke his whole entire body because it wouldn't have made a difference.
Nah.
Wouldn't have made a difference whatsoever.
I do think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is so mediocre, though. He's just so very average, but leaps and bounds better than Geno Smith. But
I've maintained all along. I thought they clearly shot their wad at 10-6 last year. I think that's the absolute best Ryan Fitzpatrick can get you. I really do.
You're right. I think you might be right, but go for it, man. And AFC East, what do you see happening?
Well, what I see happening is this division has stayed one of the most continuously boring divisions because we pretty much know the outcome every single year. It's pretty much the Patriots are going to win the division, and then I guess the rest is just what the other three are going to play out and do. I don't see it being really much different this year. I see New England. I see Tom Brady coming back pissed off after 4 weeks gone, doing whatever it is he's doing, and then just coming out. And I think the Patriots get out hot. I think they go 12-4. I think they win. I think they win the division with Bennett, with Gronk. Two sides. I think that's going to be tough to maintain. I think it'll be a battle for the second spot, which, with the ever optimist that I am, I think the Jets have as good a chance as anybody as taking that second spot, being that they have. I do like their skill set positions around them. I mean, granted, Matt Forte can get hurt in a drop of a dime.
Sure, so can
shown that in the past. I do like Brandon Marshall alongside Eric Decker. That's a nice combo they have, especially Brandon Marshall, big fan. But I think they have a shot. I think they have a shot at 2. The Dolphins. I'm not a Ryan Tannehill guy.
Right.
I don't know.
You mean over under
this
year? I know you're not looking at the schedule, but I did a little bit, and I'm looking at the over under on the Dolphins and the Bills, and I think that this is a division you can pick your winners. Obviously, New England is just a clear-cut favorite. That team year in and year out proves they can just keep winning games. But you look at Buffalo and Miami. I think I'm putting Miami in the top 3 worst franchises in the NFL.
I think that's the situation where the numbers don't lie. Look what Miami's done with all their previous draft pay. I mean, Ryan Tannehill in 2012, Deion Jordan the next year in the first round. I mean, that guy, I don't think the guy's in the league anymore.
Hey, dude, how good is Jay Ajayi when the Dolphins in the offseason are looking for C.J. Anderson, ready to give him huge money?
And they bring in Arian Foster, who can't stay healthy.
Arian Foster, whom I think Arian Foster's a stud, but he
is a stud, but he just can't stay healthy.
A little long in the tooth too, but he probably has a couple years left in the tank, man. It's a guy who was famous.
Yeah, but I mean,
very good care of
the thing
himself.
about him is, are you going to bet and rely on Arian Foster to be healthy through a 16-week NFL season? I can't even put a solid bet that he'll be healthy 6 weeks into the season. No,
you really can't. So from a fantasy perspective, the only 2 teams in this division that you can, and I just want to throw some fantasy perspective into this as we go through the AFC divisions tonight, because it is relevant. But the only 2 teams in the AFC East that you can consider drafting early and often from is New England and the Jets. I think Marshall being the earliest of all of that. I like late round guys with the Patriots, guys like LeGarrette Blount. He's a dude that gets the ball and runs people over in December. He tends to be a real nice back for them the latter half of the season when it's cold and he can punish people.
Well, we've talked about this one. What about Deion Lewis?
Yeah, you know what? He just had his knee scoped. He had a knee surgery. Hopefully it was just maybe to remove a little cartilage or whatever, and he'll heal fast. If he's on the field, especially in a PPR league, he's going to get an incredible amount of looks. He's going to make catches, and the kid proved he can fly after the catch. So, yeah, Deion Lewis is in the conversation. Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker in New York, of course.
Makes everything better when you got Tom Brady throwing you the football, too.
Certainly doesn't hurt. But I got to tell you, there's a guy out there that I really, really love. And I honestly don't expect a lot to come of this. But watch Chris Hogan in New England. He's the kid who, of some Hard Knocks fame in Miami, was referred to as 7-Eleven because he was always open. But in 2 New England preseason games this year, they fed this guy the ball all day long. It was when Brady was on the field. Kid, short, precise routes, got open, caught everything. Not a burner, not making all incredible moves after the catch, but just really consistent. And that seems to be the type of player that over the years has fit into that New England offense. you know what, he may not even make the team. But it was somebody that they really seemed to be giving him enough looks to give him the opportunity. I don't think Danny Amendola is going to be able to stay on the field. He's had some difficulty with that. Edelman's another one who's had some serious injury concerns. So I just look at a sleeper in New England. If you can get him in the 17th round, I like that Chris Hogan kid. Again, he might not even make the team. So if he doesn't, tough shit, cut him and go pick up somebody else. But if he does, he might be a guy that gets some early looks, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo on the field. The underneath stuff is going to really come alive. Buffalo, nothing wrong with LaShawn McCoy, nothing wrong with Sammy Watkins, something wrong with everybody else.
Well, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the system because historically showed Rex Ryan has absolutely no clue, or his teams have shown in the past have actually no clue what to do on the offensive side of the ball.
That's right.
So
forever.
I think we've seen the last year of Rex Ryan in Buffalo. I don't think they're going to put, especially when they don't make the playoffs this year and they go 7, 9, 8, 8. I don't think they're going to put up with his antics and his bullshit for another year.
You know, you're probably right, and you've got some up close and personal time with just being familiar with Rex Ryan. But the problem I see with getting rid of him now, this will be the beginning of his second season there, or his third. Yep,
his second. It'll be his second.
He's going to get 3 years unless he goes 2-14 this year. He's going to get 3 years. The turnover in the NFL it's an absolute recipe for disaster. I do think he'll get a third year.
Yeah.
Regardless.
It's different though with Rex Ryan though, because he just draws so much damn attention to himself all the time, and he really makes sure when you win, it looks good, but when you lose, and which I anticipate, I don't think the Bills will be a bad team, but I see a 6-10ish, 7-9 type team. I really don't see him being much better than that.
Right. Well, let's go over the odds to win that division. As you so eloquently put, New England should walk away with this division. They should.
Yeah, I mean, I hate.
They're at minus 275. That's their money line number. As far as a futures bet on odds to win this division, minus 275 for New England. I'm not laying $275 to win 100, even though that year in and year out, the likelihood of that happening is what do they win the division?
Of course not. That's a ballless bet right there. That's boring. Take the Patriots to win the AFCs. That's a boring nutless bet. I mean, that's if you want to really go in. I mean, what are the Jets' odds?
The Jets are at plus 360, so that's where it gets interesting.
That would be interesting to me. I personally don't believe the Jets will win that division. But if you to make a bet on that, which team out of the three has the best chance to unseat the Patriots some way, somehow? Granted, now Tom Brady will be gone for 4 games, and Jimmy Garoppolo is very unproven, so they probably won't lose all 4 games. They might go 2-2, maybe just maybe 1-3, depending on if Garoppolo just doesn't have it. So if they start in a 1-3 rut and the Jets come out and they start 4-1 or whatever, maybe, just maybe. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but maybe.
Keep this in mind too. The division games in the NFL are the toughest games on anybody's schedule to play within your own division. A lot of times,
absolutely,
the Jets and the Patriots will split almost every year. They're going to go 1-1 head-to-head. That 1-1 could be the difference over the division. They really both of these teams should beat Miami twice, but it's a poison for a team to travel to Miami. It's tough for New England.
Oh man, especially if you have to go there in the beginning of the year in September, that sweltering heat down in South Beach.
It's tough, but that's what makes the rivalry so much.
And keep in mind, the odds makers always know, because when you have professional football players, especially a lot of young guys with a lot of testosterone, flying into South Beach for a weekend and they know they have to play a game